Hello Year 7, I'm sorry I can't be with you in your lesson today, but what I want you to do is carry on working on ratio. Now I'm sure you're going to impress the teacher that's taking you today with what you can remember from last week, but the first thing I want you to do is a little bit of a recap. So for your starter, you're going to do some questions on simplifying ratios. So I've got 3 examples here just to refresh your memories so you can remember what to do in a moment and you can whiz through all your questions. The first one, if you remember, when we simplify ratio, what we're trying to do is make those numbers in the ratio smaller. So if we look at the first one, we've got the ratio 12 to 16. Now I want to make those numbers smaller, but the ratio's still got to show the same thing. So I've got to think to myself, whose times table is 12 and 16 both in? Which times table are they both in? They're both in the 4 times table. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide both of the numbers by 4. So I say, how many 4s are there in 12? There are 3. How many 4s are there in 16? There are 4. So the ratio simplified is 3 to 4. Question B, 65 to 90. They are both in the 5 times table. So I'm going to divide both parts of the ratio by 5. How many 5s in 65? 13. How many 5s in 90? 18. So that one simplified is 13 to 18. And the last one, if you think to yourself, okay, 21 and 35, whose times table are they both in? They're both in the 7 times table, so I'm going to divide by 7. Okay, 3 7s in 21, 5 7s in 35. So those are my simplified ratios. Now what I need to do, what you can do, if you remember last week, people were saying, well, could we just keep halving? So for example, with the first one, 12 to 16, you could halve it and you would get 6 to 8, but you need to halve again to get 3 to 4. You get the same answer, but halving won't always work. For example, 65 would be hard to half. So try and think of the biggest number you can. If you're getting stuck on your multiplication tables, you can use your planners. Okay, you've got times table grids in there that you can look at for help. Okay, so if we pause this now, then you can all have a go at those questions. Okay, so moving on, the next part of the lesson, what I want you to focus on today is sharing an amount in a ratio. So let's look at this question together. Finley and Olivia win £60. Well done, Finn. Well done, Olivia. Okay, they agree to share this in the ratio 2 to 3. So how much money do they each receive? Now what that means is that we're going to share the £60 and Finley's going to get 2 parts and Olivia's going to get 3 parts if we split it up. So we're actually splitting the £60 like this. Finley gets 2 parts and Olivia gets 3 parts. So we're actually splitting the £60 into 5 equal parts. Okay, so 60 divided by 5 is £12 per part. So that means that Finley gets 2 lots of £12 and Olivia gets 3 lots of £12. So I write it out underneath. Finley is going to get 2 lots of 12, which is 24, and Olivia is going to get 3 lots of 12, which is 36. Now with these questions, it's always easy to check you're right, because if you add up the amounts at the end, 24 add 36, it does make 60, which is what I started with at the beginning, so I know I'm right. Okay, now you can draw boxes to help you, or you can say to yourself, if I've got 2 parts and 3 parts added together, I know that I'm going to be dividing by 5. Okay, let's do another one together. If I wanted to share £36 in the ratio 1 to 2. Okay. Now, what I can do is I could draw boxes to help me. So, 1 box and 2 boxes there. And I can see I'm sharing £36 into 3. But I could just get that 3 straight away from doing the 1 add the 2. So, 36 divided by 3 is £12 per share. Okay, £12 per share. And then I've got 1 share here is £12, and these 2 shares here are worth 24. Add them together to check I'm right at the end, and I get 36, so I know I've shared it correctly. Okay, there's a sheet of questions for you to have a go at. Give it a go. Best effort now, and I really look forward to seeing your work and hearing how it's gone next lesson.